The Dodgers and Padres with the first regular season game this morning in South Korea. The Dodgers tied and broke it open in the 8th inning, which featured Shohei Ohtani's first RBI in a Dodger uniform. And here she is. It is great to be joined by my girl, Jessica Mendoza. You know I'm always so happy to see you.
Great
We're going to talk a little baseball. Mad Dog's fired up about that. Might sneak in Stephen A's Yanks. Tell me this, Jess, do you trust this loaded Dodgers team to win the World Series?
Trust. That's a big word right there.
It's a big word. It is a big word for all of us.
You know, this is a team that, they've been one of the best teams in baseball, and honestly, they should have been to the World Series and won one by now. You think of the last decade and what they've done, and then they went out this offseason and did everything. So, yes, if they can't do it now, I don't see how any team buying and spending over $1 billion to already add to how talented they already were.
Does that mean Dave Roberts is on the hot seat?
He's always on the hot seat. Every year.
But is it hotter now than it's ever been, considering the money they went out and spent and the personnel they got?
It's more Andrew Friedman than Dave Roberts. You got to understand the role of manager now is such a different thing. For him to be on the hot seat, it's when you're taking pitchers out and how you're manipulating within the game. But to me, it's how the team is structured when you talk about chemistry and talent. And that comes from the front office. That's who's on the hot seat now more than ever.
I think you have a better chance to win a championship. In baseball, it's postseason, it's a crapshoot. I think you have a better chance to win a championship when you go under the radar. Who thought Texas last year was going to win the title? They won 10 straight road games. Atlanta, nobody thought Atlanta was going to beat the Dodgers a couple years ago when they did that and they beat Houston. I think you're better off coming out of nowhere to win than if you start the postseason with the onus on your back. And the Dodgers, I don't care if they win 140 games. Nobody cares. Their season's going to start October 3rd. Can they win 11? And it is 11, not 10. 11. Can they win 11? Ohtani's never done that. Freeman and Betts have, but not for LA. It's a lot of issues. So I would say it is do or die, and I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest challenge to the Dodgers?
The Braves, 100%. They are ridiculously talented. They led the season every offensive category last year. Then they went and got Chris Sale. They got Jared Kelenic. A lot of people don't know who he is. I think he's going to do so much better in Atlanta. I also like the Baltimore Orioles. We'll get into this, but to me, you just said it perfect. Talk about under the radar. Those baby birds, no one's talking about Baltimore. They're still talking about your Yanks. They're still talking about so many teams out east. But those baby birds, with all the talent they've got coming up, that's the team who I think is going to challenge them the most.
Jess, we love pressure on this show. Which player do you think has the most pressure entering the season?
Yoshinobu Yamamoto. $325 million. There's never been a contract like that for a starting pitcher. Everyone's like, who's this guy? He came from Japan too. Everyone's talking Shohei Ohtani, but Yoshinobu Yamamoto will get the start tomorrow in Korea, and there is so much pressure, so many eyeballs on him because Shohei ain't pitching. They got Ohtani, but he's not throwing this year. Yes, they have Tyler Glass now, but who is this guy going to be as the highest paid? We're talking historic numbers for him to be able to produce on the mound.
Why do the Angels even exist? They lost Shohei Ohtani. Mike Trout is there. They can't do anything in the postseason. They've been irrelevant for years. And now your guy goes and he goes to the main team in town. Okay, right? I'm saying right up the road. I'm just looking at it. Why do they even exist right now? Why should anybody watch the Angels?
That's a fair point. Now they got a new manager in Ron Washington. Trout says he wants to win with the Angels. They got here's the one thing. They won't have any distractions this year. It's just about baseball. Pressure's off because Ohtani's not there. Maybe it helps him. As far as the pressure is concerned, I think Stanton does. He's made a fortune. He's lost a lot of weight. New York City. Now, he's got Judge and Soto, but Stanton can't hit 180 this year. I thinkStanton for the Yankees has got some pressure on him.
And Carlos Rodon. If you're sticking
that's
with the
a good point.
Garrett Cole starting the season. Good job.
I should have thought of that.
No,
better.
Rodon, to me, has more pressure because Garrett Cole being injured to start the season. Their starting rotation was really the weakest link. The lineup I'm not as worried about because of Juan Soto. Alex Verdugo makes them better in the outfield. There is pressure on Stanton, but to me,
Jessica's right.
Well, to me, that matters because if I'm Soto, I want to see production around me to entice me to want to.
Oh, that's true too. That's true too.
Am I right about that?
Oh yeah, no, it's. The Yankees are going to win more games this year. That to me
more than 91.5 games.
Yes.
Okay.
They got better. They got better. They got Marcus Stroman. They added to that rotation. They also got more athletic. That is the thing. You guys. Aaron Judge was their offense, and when they were hurt, they did not win games. 99 of his home runs, he's hit 99, 64 have been solo shots. Are you kidding me? Like, no one's getting on base for that guy.
Let me go to that because you just brought up they're more athletic. You usually don't care to hear something like that when it comes to baseball in the past. But because of so many things that have been modified in the game, you have more stolen bases, more RBIs. More, I'm looking at it from that standpoint, and I'm saying the game is changing and evolving in such a way. I think baseball is becoming more attractive than in recent memory.
I agree.
Not less. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. And I'm an outfielder, you guys. So the fact that we used to throw hitters out there and they couldn't even like get to a ball, track a ball, they were just out there because they could hit. Like, that's where I get excited about the Yankees, because instead of just having hitters, they have Juan Soto. They've got Alex Verdugo. Like, yes, they're stealing bases, but like, you're talking baseball as far as like moving, showing athleticism. And there is nothing more beautiful. When we're watching SportsCenter, what are we seeing? We're seeing outfield highlights.